Waking up in the morning, knowing I had more new Robotech to watch, got me out of bed pretty quickly. Thanks to my brother having Robotech Art 1, I knew this was the end of the saga for Rick, Lisa, MINMEI, and everyone. And there were other characters to meet, other challenges to face, other aliens to fight. But I was anxious to find out what happened to the intrepid crew of the SDF-1 and the Zentraedi. So, in the wee hours of the dawn, while my brother and Bash were still crashed out elsewhere, I settled in with Fortress Maximus, who was basically my pretend SDF-1 at the time, and Jetfire somewhere nearby, and started up the final volume of the Macross saga. And the last thing I remembered from the night before was our heroes staging a daring gamble to capture the Robotech Factory Satellite, to secure their own ability to make a new fleet to protect the Earth and spread mankind out into the galaxy. Admiral Global was en route to tour this most recent acquisition personally. He and Claudia are guided by EXEDORE and the other Robotech engineers and scientists, and it's cool to see that this factory is mostly automated, mass-producing Zentraedi arms on a grand scale.
Never mind. Do whatever you can, and do it quickly. Carry on.
Although the situation wasn't nearly as hopeful as he would have liked, Global puts his faith in his people that the genius of these engineers and the human know-how of design and repair could help get the factory satellite up and running at full capacity. The future of both the people of Earth and the Zentraedi now depended on it. Speaking of societies in disrepair and on the verge of collapse, we find the Robotech Masters have gathered together a great council of its surviving members. All factions of the remainder of their race were represented here, each one led by a triumvirate of Tyroleans, every one of them with the same goal: to reclaim Zor's battle fortress and its protoculture matrix, to preserve their own society and restore it to its former glory and might. As it stands, their own power reserves are fairly limited and cannot sustain a direct fold to Earth. The Council determines that a long journey of more than a dozen years at least is ahead of them, and some of them may not survive such an exodus. However, the eldest triumvirate of the Masters concedes to this plan, knowing the overall importance of this mission. And thus, the Robotech Masters begin their voyage to the Earth. This scene with the Masters actually replaces a scene from Macross, a fun one with Sammy, Kim, and Vanessa all gossiping together while on duty about the latest tabloids of MINMEI. Word is that her and Kyle aren't getting along these days and are likely to split, although Kim is suspicious it isn't all an act, since celebrities are known to do this kind of drama to get attention once their careers start to take a dive. Sammy hates to see MINMEI having such troubles and can't believe she'd manufacture them. But Vanessa has heard that it seems the trouble is MINMEI has found herself another man. Sammy gasps at the scandal, and it's only then that they notice that their command officer is watching them, more than a little disapprovingly. The trio then and there kind of put it all together, realizing that the other man in MINMEI's life is most likely her ex, and that ex is known to be Rick Hunter. And Lisa's own current drama with Captain Hunter was the most widely known secret on the base. The trio break up their little gossip session while Lisa looks on, knowing it's hopeless with those three. Besides, a report comes in about Zentraedi trouble brewing in New Detroit City.
I don't feel this place is safe with the protoculture chamber here, and because of what you did to Captain Hunter. He did save my life, you know.
You make it sound like it's a lot more than that, MINMEI.
Well, you asked me, so I told you.
Well, I just wish you weren't so upset, that's all. We're in no danger here, and it didn't hurt your flyboy to have his feathers ruffled.
Hey, Mr. Mayor, ready or not?
Yeah, how about that?
I think the whole place looks great, sir.
Why, thank you, sir. Sounded like an explosion to me.
Quick, let's get outside!
The descending marauders of KHYRON swooped in swiftly, dispatching the lumbering and sparse number of destroids spread around the city, as well as its communications center. Although some return fire found its mark against these foes, nothing could stop them in the quest to obliterate all resistance and take the prize they'd come for. The mayor was finding great regret in this moment of having turned away the help of Captain Hunter, his worst fear coming to pass. Along with Kyle and MINMEI, he watched as the citizens of his city were massacred, explosions all around. Kyle was shocked at the savagery of these Zentraedi, the ferocity in which they came. All MINMEI could do was cover her eyes from the carnage and scream. The slow and clumsy mecha of the local Destroid battalion did their best, but they weren't nearly as maneuverable as a Veritech. Being easily taken out by the Zentraedi power armor piloted by giant warrior veterans of countless battles. KHYRON's sensors revealed he was close to the location of the sizing chamber as he destroyed everything in sight between he and his goal.
I'm getting high reflex activity readings. Soon I will have that protoculture chamber. All battle pods converge on my signal immediately.
What have I done? What have I done?
They've overrun our position and they're heading your way.
This could be it.
Oh,
The two Veritechs of the Skull Squadron Rick had left behind braced with the Destroids for the defense of the Protoculture Chamber. As the Zentraedi burst through the hatch, firing indiscriminately, they tore through all resistance, blew through every wall. Even the one Battloid that tried to surprise them stood no chance, blaster fire filling it with holes. Even as they momentarily held off this wave of attack, KHYRON drops through the ceiling, crushing a Spartan defender that had an enemy on the ropes. The remaining Battloid tries to attack him from behind, but one swift kick from KHYRON shatters the Veritech to pieces. KHYRON then stands in glorious victory and looks to his great prize, the Protoculture Sizing Chamber. All while the mayor stands idly by, watching helplessly as all of his ominous fears have come to pass. At KHYRON's base, a line of micronized Zentraedi had formed going out the door. The former warriors not even minding the cold as they waited to enter the ship and have their chance at returning to their original enormous size. The Protoculture Chamber worked its mysterious marvel on each and every one of them, deconstructing the tiny human-sized aliens, disgruntled with this life of peace they'd suffered on Earth. And it reformed them each into another formidable soldier, adding a slew of new recruits to the ranks of KHYRON. He sat and celebrated with Azonia, drinking to their great success, their impending victory over the entire Micronian species. It pleased Azonia to see her chosen champion in such high spirits, knowing that soon, together, they'd dominate the universe. As the forces of KHYRON and the renegade Zentraedi continue to grow, we can only wonder at the fears of EXEDORE and his worry that perhaps the Zentraedi really are no more than toys of destruction, the dolls of the devil.